waking up and walking next to majestic creatures that existed centuries ago? How about experiencing a completely new, yet ancient side of nature that is totally foreign to us? Well, bringing them back from the fray may now be within reach due to the power of genetic engineering and some awe-inspiring advancements in our understanding of biology.
Genes are the basic blueprint of the body, which makes up our foundation, giving us each of our traits from eye color to height to predisposition to diseases. It also makes every organism distinct from one another. And now scientists have figured out a method to study and biologically alter this code in a process called genetic engineering. Through this process, DNA can be inserted, deleted, and modified to produce existing new traits that can completely change the organism. Have you ever dreamed of a world where cancer doesn't exist, where cheap and abundant energy is always available? How about a world where mythical species that once walked the earth are once again given a chance at life, just like the movie Jurassic Park? Well, with the help of genetic engineering and CRISPR, we have the potential to create this world.
There are several ways one can go about gene editing, with one of the most popular is CRISPR-Cas9, as it is faster, cheaper, more accurate and efficient than any other tool on the market. CRISPR was developed using a natural process observed in bacteria.
See, whenever a hostile virus invades a bacteria, it deploys its very own protection system in the form of CRISPR-Cas9. The Cas9 part of the process basically seeks out the genetic code of the invading virus and captures a snapshot. That is then stored in the CRISPR sequence. Now, whenever the virus attacks again, Cas9 goes through all the codes and finds the same one captured in the snapshot and then destroys it like a homing missile. Scientists replicated this process and targeted specific genes to modify and insert into an organism's code to give rise to completely new traits in them. CRISPR is shaping up to be one of the most revolutionary achievements as it can help us fight some of the most fundamental problems humanity has faced.
But getting back to what may be the most exciting, the recreation of Jurassic Park in real life, which brings us to de-extinction, which is the process of producing an organism that is or resembles an extinct species. There are various ways to go about this, ranging from selective breeding all the way to the futuristic yet dystopian cloning. But the most promising method is indeed gene editing. This excitement around gene editing has given rise to some key players in the space, namely colossal biosciences, who have produced some fascinating results.
The dinosaurs went extinct due to a lot of factors compounded together. The fossil records show shrinking skull sizes, which can result from changes in diet and lifestyle, which probably happened due to habitat and loss of prey caused by humans. Being an apex predator, the ecological impact of this may have been tremendous and probably detrimental.
In October 2024, BioColossal changed this and brought two direwolf pups back to life. They named them Romulus and Remus, followed by the iconic pup Khaleesi in 2025. This was made possible due to DNA found in tooth and bone samples that were thousands of years old. Scientists identified approximately 20 genetic modifications across 14 genes that differentiated dire wolves from
Modern grey wolves.
Using CRISPR, they altered the DNA of the grey wolves and developed embryos. From 45 engineered ova, 4 viable embryos were successfully implanted in surrogate mother dogs, resulting in 3 monumental birds via C-section. However, it must be noted that ancient dire wolf DNA is extremely fragmented source for constructing a biological clone, as explained by Dr. Nick Rollins, who believed these dire wolves suggest a closer relation to grey wolves genetically. But the fact still remains that this is a tremendous leap in gene editing and de-extinction efforts and could definitely fill the ecological niches left behind by their extinct predecessors, making it a net positive for the world. By the 1920s, grey wolves were no longer present in Yellowstone due to government initiatives to control the large predator population. Rocky Mountain elk thrived without these predators, which in turn disrupted the ecological balance, leading to immense overgrazing, leading to even more smaller species struggling. To combat this, the grey wolf was reintroduced to Yellowstone National Park in the 1990s, and it is evident that they had a cascading effect that benefited the entire ecosystem. The diverse wildlife and vegetation was able to bounce back and reach a more balanced state. Thus, it can be observed introducing species can be massively helpful to imbalanced ecosystems.
The key to reintroducing extinct species like these is to properly understand and recreate their past conditions, such as their habitats, diets, behavior, and accommodating them in today's diverse ecosystem. Fossil records show that dire wolves were present mainly in North America and adapted to many varied environments like boreal grasslands, coastal woodlands, tropic wetlands, while preying on large prey such as coastal horses and ground birds, hunting them in packs. A great first step would be to introduce them into an enclosed environment stocked with large herbivores such as bison or feral cattle, stimulating their past ecosystem and considering a true wild reintroduction later with proper planning. These dire bulls were created in a lab and hence could pose some serious risks, like possible ecological imbalances caused by poor reintroduction planning, releasing pathogens which we are unable to treat, the ethical concerns regarding bringing back extinct creatures and providing them a suitable home, the risk of distracting from the rising rate of species going extinct, as prevention is always better than cure.
Philosophists are not stopping at dire wolves. Instead, they are just getting started with various future plans, such as Woolly Mammoths, being one of their flagship projects which plan to use African elephants as the base. They have even made breakthrough and were able to produce a woolly mouse, with plans to engineer a woolly calf by 2028. Tasmanian tiger is another major project underway that focuses on bringing back relatively recent extinct species.
Whether it's the awe of seeing long-lost creatures walk the earth once again or the hope of solving humanity's biggest challenges, one thing is clear, that gene editing is rewriting the rules of life itself. But as we know, with great power comes great responsibility. Should extinct species get a chance? That's a question only time will answer. What do you think? Let us know in the comments and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.